The National Bank Strategic U.S. Income and Growth Fund is a U.S.-focused multi-asset class fund catering to investors seeking income and growth. It really has three simple objectives: high sustainable yield, attractive capital appreciation, and less volatility than the equity market. And in the challenging world that we live in, the more conservative, the more income-oriented you are, the more pronounced these risks become. We have a strategic split of 60-40 bonds, equities, and we have the ability to tilt that 15% one way or the other. And within those guide rails, you can think of it as best idea, go anywhere. We have the ability to manage duration. We think this is a very important tool to have, especially with the prospects of rates rising in the US. We can extract value on a level we like to refer to as asset location, which essentially allows us to make an active decision on where to own a company within its capital structure. So as an example, if we both like company A, do we own the bond or do we own the equity based upon the yield, the volatility, and the upside potential of that security? We think it's really important to cast a wide net, to include not just bonds, but also equities, not just traditional sources of income, but also non-traditional sources of income. Despite the temptation, we think it's really important not to stretch for yield. In the bond context, you can either push out in duration or you can push down in credit quality. And in the equity context, you can simply buy the highest yielding equities. And it's our opinion, particularly with the prospects of rates rising, that one can be sorely disappointed to the extent that they pull any one of these levers too aggressively. Home base for us is 60% bonds, 40% equities. Relative to that strategic split, we're modestly overweight equities. So we remain constructive on equities versus bonds. We are not stretching for yield, so we have shorter duration than our reference index or many of our peers. And we're seeking to find quality wherever we can in an environment where we're finding both yield and growth is becoming increasingly more challenged. We believe this plays to our team's competitive advantage at Goldman Sachs.